Well, let me welcome you as we invite you in tonight to a very special and unique Christmas Eve service. And one of the things that's true for every single one of us, no matter where you are tonight, is we are experiencing a time that feels very different from what is normal for us. And that's true even here at The Journey. Whether you are joining us for the first time or whether you've been here from the beginning, this is a service that we have always valued, a service that we've always elevated, because this is a service that is worthy of celebration. That what we celebrate on Christmas Eve is the reality and the truth that Jesus left the throne room of heaven to enter into the brokenness and the pain of our world. And in many ways, that truth is the reality that we face today. That we face a time where there's a lot of unknowns, a time of a lot of brokenness, a time of a lot of pains, and yet the invitation for us tonight is that we can still come together to celebrate, to worship, to cry out to God. And so that's what we're going to do. All across our city, all across our country, and even the world, we are going to have brothers and sisters that are gathering together to celebrate and to worship the fact that Jesus has come down, that Jesus has stepped in. And so what that means for us tonight is that we can bring our full selves, even through a virtual experience, and to believe that Jesus can offer comfort and hope and peace and love to us where we are and as we are. And so as we do that tonight, there's going to be opportunities for us to sing, for us to hear, even to preach word from Pastor Curtis. But at the end of our service tonight, we're also going to have an opportunity from our homes to join together as we sing Silent Night. And hopefully you've had an opportunity to get one of these candles prior to this evening's service. And as we sing that song, we're going to light those candles from all across our city as we sing and proclaim this truth and this hope of who Jesus is and what he's done. And I'll just say that if you don't have a candle tonight, that's okay. You can still join in singing with us as we celebrate this good news on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve is a night of wonder. All is calm, all is bright. The world collectively holds its breath with expectation and hope for the morning to come. There is something truly holy about it this night. Love feels close, peace feels near. But this Christmas Eve is not the same. Tables have fewer settings, full homes have been replaced with video calls, and church doors around our community are locked. But while we may not be together, we are not alone. And while this Christmas Eve may have lost its wonder, it has not lost its meaning. And so we hold to the things that this season reminds us are real: love, hope, peace. We remember that we are a part of something bigger, celebrating the birth of Jesus and looking forward to the day when we can gather around crowded dinner tables, laugh together, and hug one another. Until then, even in our present moment, we can have hope, we can have love, we can have peace, all because of Jesus, all because we believe.
Adore. There has been so much change in the last several years. The long illness and sudden death of my husband, a tragic death of my nephew, changes in relationships that you just thought would always be there. And then my mom moving into dementia. It's hard to describe the powerlessness, the fear, the mental anguish over watching, experiencing, just going through these seasons of life. Every year you think at the end of the year, take a deep breath, and maybe this year will be different. And it was. It has been. The powerlessness was replaced by isolation and confinement, and all of a sudden you couldn't get to people for the most basic needs, to comfort and touch them or hold your family members or see your loved ones.
The weary world rejoices. The weary world rejoices. The weary world rejoices. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
by God's grace, He has grown me in His Word to trust Him. When He is all you have at 2 o'clock in the morning, it is like He has taken up residence now. His peace is very real. It's a physical, certainly a holding of me and my circumstances. And He does show up in the most surprising ways with provision or call or a friend leaving soup outside the door, or countless ways that He shows His goodness. But to have Him live in me, with me, to show me that I am not powerless as long as I can pray, that He has given me a spirit of love to hold me and my world together, and joy and peace and a sound mind to control my thinking when you can't reach your loved ones, or they don't remember now who you are, or the loss seems unbearable. These seasons have shown me that peace has a name, and the Word tells us that Jesus Himself is our peace.
Well, I don't know what Christmas morning looks like for you, but for me and my family, it involves kids running around and biscuits and gravy, like a lot of them. See, my father-in-law, he makes this huge pot of gravy, and he makes almost hundreds of biscuits. At least it feels that way. And it's a one day a year where we eat biscuits and gravy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's like this moment that I look forward to, because in that moment, it feels right. Like it feels like when I'm sitting down eating biscuits and gravy, all is right in the world. But like I soon realized, like all of us, that when the gifts are open and now the kids are fighting and we're back to work and we're back in the basement working on bad internet, and we're all of a sudden reminded what this year has shown us is that even in these moments of joy and peace and singing, that there's no doubt pain and frustration. And Christmas, no doubt, is the picture of what does it look like to walk out that reality. And when Christmas is over, when the day after tomorrow comes, December 26th, like how do we then live in this paradox of peace? Well, I'm reminded of this beautiful verse in 2 Thessalonians, this little short book, but it ends with what's called this benediction, this blessing that the writer shares. In chapter 3, verse 16, he says, "Now may the Lord of peace Himself give you peace at all times in every way. The Lord be with you all." So the first thing that I see, and I think this is a gift for us all, is that when we are longing for and wanting peace, I think sometimes we forget that peace starts with a person. Now may the Lord of peace, the writer is pointing us back to this specific person, this person, Jesus Christ, that stands in the gap, stands in our lives, wanting and offering not just to simply give us general peace, but peace in of Himself. See, Christmas has this ability to really expose where we want other ways of peace. Like we see it where we want it through possessions, whether it's gifts or trinkets or things that we're buying and decorating our homes, or it's through people like our family and our friends, and our joy is correlated to who's around, or it's the place, right? How comfortable we are making our homes, or what movies we get to watch while the fire is going with our kids, and our joy and peace is correlated to that. But what this writer reminds us is that even if all of that is gone, and for some of us it is, that we are not without peace if we have that person of peace. See, Jesus, he stands in the gap between us and our Maker. God who made us to enjoy Him, to fully be loved by Him. But yet we fail, and this Jesus stands and He becomes and receives all that we are and all that's due to us. He becomes sin and receives all of our judgment so that we would become and receive all that he is. So we become his perfection, his righteousness. We become these deeply loved kids. See, the beautiful thing about the Lord of peace is that he is the essence of bringing peace between us and our Maker, which is the most important peace that we need. And the question is, for all of us, one, are we setting our eyes, our hearts? Are we living in light of this person first and foremost? Like before we look for comfort around our dinner tables and comfort in our families and comfort in our job, like the question is there peace between you and your Maker? Are you living in light of this Jesus? Are you living for this Jesus? Are you allowing him to be all that you need? See, even for us, even for me as a preacher, I know this Jesus. I've been walking with him for many years, but I recognize that in life, even this year, that when my eyes get off of him, my heart loves other things. There is a restlessness that's in me. There is an angst, an anxiousness, even a low-grade anger that comes. And oftentimes, I'm trying to solve that by these other things, but he's regularly reminded that first and foremost, the way you solve it is not with these possessions, people, or places, but with this person. And so are you pondering on him? Maybe the restlessness in your soul is because your eyes aren't fully on him. See, at the end of the day, what we have needed, will forever need, is this beautiful declaration that God speaks over us. See, when Jesus steps into that gap, we become God's delighted children. And I know we say that often, and maybe you're here and you've never heard that. Let me tell you that one of the beautiful things one gets in this gospel of Jesus, that through Jesus, we get to be called his children. And here's what that means. That through Jesus, he sings over us and declares us his own. Like through Jesus, he comes near and says, you are mine. And through Jesus, he sings delight over us and doesn't merely tolerate us, but deeply enjoys us, delights in us, smiles upon us. See, it's this Jesus that we need, and it's this very reality that you never stop needing. Like in this moment, you still need to be reminded that he says, you are my son and you are my daughter. You still need to be reminded that he stands in that gap, solving all that you need, so that when you reach, he will be there. He promises to be there. So first, what do we have in walking out this paradox of peace? Well, we have a person. He, this Lord of peace. But it's interesting, like in this moment where I feel like he's given his all, and he has. He's given us the most expensive gift. Now, if you're like me, like once I give you one gift, like if I give a huge gift for my kids, hundreds of thousands of dollars, now that's all you're going to get. Like when he gives his life fully for us, dying on the cross, I would say, Jesus, you done did enough. Like if you don't do anything else, you have done enough. That is the most expensive gift you're going to ever find, going to ever give me. But this Jesus, right? Like he gives his full self, but doesn't stop. Like he continues on, and he will say that I will give you peace at all times and in every way. Like here's Jesus fixing our deepest need, but yet also going further and saying, as you live this life and you experience it, pain, loss, abandonment, unemployment, no kids, wayward kids, divorce, sickness, or even death. Like you name it, there's not a situation you'll face where he doesn't have the peace you need in that moment. Like whenever you need it, he's pretty much saying, hey, in that situation, I know the peace you need, here you go. Like it reminds me, these coupon books that couples give. each other, especially when they broke, right? When you can't afford nothing, you get these little coupons, and you say, okay, I'm gonna get, here's a coupon for a hug, and here's a coupon for a kiss, and here's a coupon for a whole day with me. And I'm thinking, listen, I get all that on a normal basis. Why would you give me a coupon book? Do you even know me? Until that moment comes in the next week or the next month when failure hits me, and what I most need is that hug. Loss hits me, and what I most need is that day spent with my wife. And in that moment, what I most need is right there. And Jesus is saying, like, when you walk with him, understand he is so generous, overwhelmingly so. And you have yet to face a situation where he doesn't have the right kind of peace you most need. So what's burdening you right now? Like in this moment, even close your eyes. What is weighing most on your heart? What is that thing, that relationship, that loss, that confusion, that sickness, where you've convinced yourself he doesn't have peace for that? May you be reminded in this moment, he has the right kind of peace for you. And all you have to do is ask. He's right there, offering and giving liberally for us to enjoy him and all the peace he has. But here's, I would say, the icing on the cake. Like, the last phrase is what's so important. It says, the Lord be with you all. Like, the Lord be with you. See, I know it, in our times, it's no big deal, but if we're honest, when it's all said and done, what we really need is to know somebody is right here with us. And not just somebody that's like somebody who knows the world and knows what he's doing and knows me. And not just knows all that, but is with me. See, the most precious thing that we celebrate in this moment of Christmas, the most precious thing that we have the day after tomorrow, is the presence, the peaceful presence of God. So my oldest, Caden, there are these times where he gets scared and he has a bad dream. And there's moments when we can say, okay, well, don't think about that, and it helps. But there's these moments when whatever he's dreamed or whatever he's thought about, it's too much to be solved by just a quick word. It's in those moments when I come into his room and I curl up next to him on the bed and I just whisper, I am here. I am here. And in that moment, I feel his body rest more, relax more. Not because I did anything, not because I even solved whatever he was dreaming about, but simply because I was there. May you hear this moment, this season, this year, God whispering to you, I am here. And in being here, I am and will do all that you need. So when you rest in a paradox and you experience pain and that pain doesn't go away, you can rest assured that the Lord of peace will give you peace. But most importantly, he will be with you.
Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye, oh Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory streams from heaven afar. Heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Two, three.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive a King. Let every heart prepare Him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the earth, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. No more lessons and sorrows grow, nor thorns infest the ground. He comes to make His blessings flow, far as the curse is found, far as the curse is found, far as the curse is found. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare Him room. And heaven and nature say, and heaven and nature say, and heaven and nature say. All right. And heaven and nature say. Yeah.